Is it okay to use AI? This guy's a godfather of the internet.
Sure, yeah.
He is absolutely not only a godfather, a pioneer.
All right, what
and everybody's raking this saint of a man over the coals because, God forbid, a man who works this hard uses a little bit of AI for his research purposes. I've always believed that my audience is more likely to be right than I am. You know what this feels like in a way I can't. I really like that part.
I don't understand that.
He's saying that like
you're more likely to be right than I am
about how it feels. He can't perceive what it's like to be his own audience better than the audience can.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Also, if you're only using it for research,
this is why I think he's lying. I think if you're going to go this far, talk about your dopamine use, talk about like how much pressure you've been feeling and all this stuff and your need to feel productive, you're telling me that you've been exclusively been super careful about like, I'm just using it for some preliminary stuff so it can bring up some like academic papers, and then I go read those like 50-page academic papers. I'm like, I don't buy it. All he needs to do is chill out.
Some guys can't stop.
Yeah, I mean, he
makes me feel like a total underachieving loser.
Well, I think that's your own thing that you'll have to work through, but like...
Look at all this shit. How does he have the time and cancer?
Because he's running at a clip that he can't keep up with.
He's got ADD.
He's got ADD.
What is going on, everybody? What is going on?
What the hell is happening?
What is happening? Man, I don't even know anymore. God almighty. Hey, you came to the right place if you want to know what's going on. I'm Emil, that's Ben.
I'm Ben. Hi. I just freaking shit myself.
No, I didn't. And this week we are talking about Hank Green.
Well, we're broadly talking about
and whether
the morality of AI use, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about AI a lot on the show, obviously.
Yeah.
We've talked about these massive tech companies who impact the market and everything. We've talked about the bubble and the financials of it all. We've talked about
the
impacts on people, but we haven't really talked about, we've talked about the environmental impacts too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we really haven't talked about this aspect. And this Hank Green thing really does open up a interesting
can of worms.
Yeah, I mean, it does. I think you're seeing a lot of people fall down the line in how they use it, how they feel about this thing, basically.
Yeah. So we'll get into all that in just a moment. If you missed the Q&A, benandemilshow.com, sign up there. It's up there. Maybe you can ask a question for next time. And also, hey, next week we got a huge banger of an episode all about Costco. And we shot like over an hour of footage inside Costco. That'll be on benandemilshow.com, only for subscribers. So be sure to go there and sign up and check that out. Comment of the week is going to happen at the end of the episode, so stay tuned for that. So let's get right the heck into what?
I was making fun of you. You're kind of doing this, but it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. Don't get distracted.
And also, so guys, in the bonus, I'm going to be sharing what I found to be interesting excerpts from my weekend chat with Claude, wherein I was I'm not allowed to explicitly say on YouTube what I was doing, but I will tell you it is Yeah. And then so that thing that I just mentioned, I was using that while I was talking to Claude, and I'm sure
I'm worried about you.
No, it's going to be great. You'll see. It's in the bonus at benandemilshow.com. Hank Green.
Some are even calling him Clank Green right now.
Are they really?
I saw like a couple.
Oh, that's funny.
It is a little funny. I want to be clear too. I don't really know all that much about Hank Green. And
I know so much now.
At first I was like, maybe I'm not the best guy to talk about it, but I actually think I'm a great person to talk about it because there's also a lot of people who I think are talking about this. It's people who already hated Hank Green and are like, good.
How can you hate this guy?
Or it's people who are like deeply connected to Hank Green and are like maybe not able to see the full picture because they're like, Hank, it's okay, whatever. I have no feelings about this man. He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
He seems like a very nice guy who tries to...
He's an overachiever for sure. Jesus
Sure.
Christ. When I was reading about this guy, I'm like, holy God, Mr. Four Eyes. Jeez Louise.
But all that is to say, I'm not here to dogpile on the guy. I think
Can we go to the other one, the Hank and his brother? Boy, this guy loves his brother. So in 2000, this is on hankandjohn.com. And I was surprised at first. And by the way, if you know all this stuff, bear with me, because
well, we don't have to go into his whole biography here. I
sure,
mean, I don't think it'll be helpful for people.
This gives a background on just how this guy's a godfather of the internet.
Sure, yeah.
He is absolutely not only a godfather, a pioneer. He kind of he was one of the very first to do like vlogs, really, and he did it with his brother. They called it Vlog Brothers. They started a website, a company called Complexly. And from that, they started a bunch of educational YouTube channels called Crash Course, SciShow, PBS Eons, Healthcare Triage, The Art Assignment. And between those channels, they have 18 million subscribers.
Wait, his brother wrote The Fault in Our Stars?
Yeah. Dude, so that's the thing. I'm reading his brother. We also both write books, though one of us has been at it for longer. John's novels include Looking for Alaska, Paper Towns, An Abundance of Catherines, The Fault in Our Stars, and Turtles All the Way Down. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? So both of these guys, they've got best-selling books, and then they also do charity stuff.
I don't know how the book is. It's that crappy movie where the girl has cancer or something?
Yeah, the girl got cancer, then the guy do be getting cancer also, and he dies.
That's what happens too? He gets cancer?
I believe he has cancer the whole time.
Okay, we're getting off track here.
They've distributed more than $5 million to charities, nonprofits, and educational projects.
All right,
and everybody's raking this saint of a man over the coals because, God forbid, a man who works this hard uses a little bit of AI for his research purposes.
You know what, though?
He also was a founder of VidCon, for Christ's sake. For Jesus Christ's sake.
I do think he's lying.
About what? Wait,
someone basically tweeted and we could play the video. It's very short. I don't think we'll get copyright struck for it, but basically someone clipped out one of his latest videos.
It sounded like AI.
It had a very, common
distinctly
AI-ism.
Yes. And I appreciate the pushback is what it was.
Right. Which I probably would have never noticed had I been watching something. But I also don't engage with stuff like this. I don't, not like a video essays guy. Also, wait, it's very funny. I didn't realize it's a video called Does Hank Green Shave His Butt? All this over.
Well, because that's part of a thing called Ask Hank Anything, which was born out of his TikTok. He answered questions on TikTok, and that became super viral with a young crowd. Yeah.
But that doesn't answer why it's a very silly.
Someone asked the question, must have asked.
Question.
Do you shave your butt?
Yeah, that's the question she asked him.
Okay, well. So
it came from a woman named Soupy Time. So what do you expect?
She's popular on TikTok.
She's popular on TikTok.
Just play
there
the
you
clip.
have it. Yeah, okay, let's go.
Seems to be based in the sounds themselves. Booba is all soft and voiced and round, and Kiki is sharper and it's got those stops. So, does this mean that words aren't made up? No, words are definitely made up, but it does mean that there are things that matter to a community of brains creating language together. That does not mean that booba naturally means round in the secret language of the universe. It means that when humans are asked to attach sounds to things, the sounds are not blank. They matter. There's a thing in there that matters, and that's very cool. A better way to say it, and I appreciate the pushback, is a word is a human invention, and human inventions
Did you catch it? Did you catch it?
There's a couple.
So someone clipped that little video, put it on Twitter, and was like, this is kind of disappointing that this ended up in the script. It feels like maybe he's using AI to write his scripts, which I do agree. That is disappointing if you're engaging with the creator and he's just kind of reading out AI generated scripts to you.
Yeah.
And we have his response, which this was the big.
He said, I produced this under a ton of pressure, so I went and checked my process from start to finish. I did use ChatGPT for research on this script, and watching it, I definitely get an AI feel. So I think it's fair to say I was relying too much on generated notes. That's a thing I've been doing, and it's a bad habit at a time when I've overcommitted myself. But I just went to the notes and the script for this, and neither contained the I appreciate the pushback line. So that particular moment was an ad lib in reference to my guest pushing back on me, saying that words are purely made up. So, but that's a strange.
It's all very weird. But when I first read it, I was like, okay, fine. I don't know much about this guy. If he's like using it for preliminary research, whatever.
Sure.
Then he deletes that and he posts a much longer
Thing on Reddit.
apology.
I mean, I'm not going to read the entire thing, but there's certain excerpts of it that are important. He says, I'm not a pure AI hater, which people in the AI industry know. So when I say that the way these models were trained deeply disturbs me, that lands differently. He also, just above that, says, what I can't guarantee is that we will agree about this technology or what to do with it. I think that's good. We need a lot of kinds of folks critiquing this technology. What's funny, as an aside, real quick, I feel like a lot of AI might be trained on his content. There's a strong chance.
100%.
Yeah.
But
I'm not absolving him. I'm just saying.
I know. But I've seen people making the argument like, you guys don't understand. The AI has scraped the internet and trained on it. Do you know how many hours it's consumed of the Vlogbrothers? He doesn't sound like AI. AI sounds like him. And I'm like,
oh, I'm not going that
no,
direction.
I know. I'm just saying there are people who are using that as a like, he only sounds that way because the AI is built off him. And I'm like, do you know how, like, what chunk do you think is him in the, like, come on.
I just find it annoying because I hate the way AI talks. And I'm like, fuck you, Hank Green. If you contributed to this, then that's why I'm mad at you.
I don't
for
think
talking that way. Quit talking that way. And I appreciate the pushback. to be honestly, you're right to call that out.
I think more
honestly,
than anything,
Emil, you're right to call that out.
It's all of us.
Yeah.
It's pushing stuff out back to us.
He says, it is very likely that you, the reader, and I disagree on how or even whether AI should be used. I think it makes sense for that disagreement to exist, but I also have always believed that my audience is more likely to be right than I am. You know what this feels like in a way I can't. I really like that part.
I don't understand that.
He's saying that like
you're more likely to be right than I am
about how it feels, because he can't perceive what it's like to be viewing. He can't perceive what it's like to be his own audience better than the audience can. And I'm so sorry for diluting myself in this way and harming the thing that we have all built together. He says, I've just been feeling the pressure of, I have this little live video idea. I just need to get it out. But making more things does not make me make better things. It does not make the big thing that we've been doing for 20 years better. I know that I can manage myself more effectively. I want to make videos like the one I made yesterday where the writing was the whole thing and I felt it all the way down and have been so enriched by people's responses to it. But mostly this is where it gets interesting. Mostly I need to come to terms with the fact that the level of dopamine I've been getting from interacting with LLMs, with doing more and more and more and more, is not healthy for me or good for the world. It is careless and has disconnected me from where people are on this. I was just talking about this with Catherine last night and she did not pull any punches. Frankly, neither did John. Neither of them think I've been being healthy. I need to readjust. That's his wife and his brother.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Also, if you're only using it for research,
this is why I think he's lying.
Pray tell, what are you fucking?
This is why I think he's lying, and I don't think it's the biggest deal that he's lying. I honestly don't think he needed to apologize in the first place.
Me either.
I think that's like your number one mistake when you're dealing with people on the internet is apologizing to them. You can never make them happy. They're all whatever.
Amen, brother.
Whatever. But I think if you're going to go this far, talk about your dopamine use, talk about like how much pressure you've been feeling and all this stuff and you need to feel productive. You're telling me that you've been like exclusively been super careful about like, I'm just using it for some preliminary stuff so it can bring up some like academic papers. And then I go read those like 50-page academic papers. I'm like, I don't buy it.
Especially when a guy is stretched this thin.
Right. And so it sounds like the AI use has gotten away from him a little bit, and I don't think he's being completely honest. It also feels like people have pointed out before this that his channel was taking on a bit of a different feel. You know, like it didn't feel like the old Hank. It felt a little like AI-ish.
Yeah.
And
you know, you're right to point that out.
I don't think he's being completely honest. I think he also doesn't need to like self-flagellate in front of the entire internet I think everyone needs to figure out how this tech is going to be in our lives.
Yeah.
And it's extremely new. It's also I'm curious how like full anti-AI people have been able to like just completely stay away from it. You can't Google something without using
Well,
AI. It's just like it's just right.
It's there all the time.
Yeah.
I just because I want to have that conversation, but this guy and these fans. By the way, it was one person who pointed that out, and then someone else put it on Reddit, and that person who put it on Reddit ended up editing the post and saying, "I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to like stir the pot and cause this controversy." And it's like, God damn it, man, these fucking people. Yeah, the original tweet, blah, blah, blah. I know I'm not owed an explanation for this, but gosh, I would love one. I'm struggling so much with his admission as someone who's followed him for nearly as long as he's been making videos.
The other thing I will say is at first, because I wasn't quite as familiar with his work, I do understand people's hard emotions with the fact that I guess he's like technically like education content and a science content guy. I thought he was purely like entertainery.
Yeah.
I do think that changes a little bit if you're not, if you're holding yourself out as an educational content guy and you're not like being as rigorous as you should be.
The way I see it is
puts you in a different stratosphere.
This guy is a father. He's a husband. He has written 2 books. He has such an active online presence. He's got a couple charities. He's got this entire media company. He like in his free time, he developed a couple games that he used. It appears he used Claude to vibe code a couple cool little projects. It's more than acceptable to me that he used AI to, if it's as much as he said, to within that scope of him just using it to research. I think that is well beyond excusable. He made this cool website, Artemis 2 photo timeline, that he puts in the FAQ is like it was something that he vibe coded with Claude just because he thought it was an interesting thing. Like, people just need to step the fuck back.
But
like he has put so much out there, and he is so also he had cancer, for Christ's sake, 3 years ago. Like, get off the guy's fucking neck. God almighty.
Well,
it would be one thing if it was, I don't know, like, go on.
I don't know if that's completely fair. I think it's okay for people to feel strange about the content they're consuming, especially if they think it's coming from completely human created things.
Yes. Agree.
And I think if that was the case, he was using it for a little bit of research stuff. My thing is, I don't necessarily believe him on that. And all those things you're saying, he does this, he does that. He doesn't have to do all that. You were saying last night, I didn't realize
he has ADD
this.
though, dude.
I don't care. You were texting us being like, he's worth all this money. I had no idea.
I'm just guessing.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, and after you texted that, I've seen people online being like, he's most definitely a very wealthy person. I don't know exactly what pressure he's feeling. There's no like,
some creators,
so he doesn't have to do all these things. It also reminds me of, it came up in the Q&A because I feel like it was like 2 Q&As in a row that we did. People were kind of asking us about like AI use and feelings about it and how ubiquitous it is. And I was like, I don't have a fully formed opinion on it all. And I had mentioned, if at least this last time, if not both times, the book by Cory Doctorow. If you don't know Cory Doctorow, he's the enshittification guy. That's like his claim to fame. He wrote the book and coined the phrase. But can you Google it? I think it's called The Reverse Centaur, or like how to think about life after AI or something. Oh yeah, the Reverse Centaur's Guide to Life After AI, how to think about artificial intelligence. And if you click the picture, you'll see it's a very nice metaphor. He talks about a centaur in the tech world, in tech parlance, is someone who is almost like a mythical centaur. There's a human torso on top of a horse's body.
But that's the opposite. That's a horse head on a human butt.
I'll get there. And so if in any kind of riding a bike, you're a centaur. You're using your human body with the assistance of this tech, a car, all of these things. Where the problem comes in is when it's the reverse. You become the assistant to the tech. And I have read it since. I was like, we've got enough questions. I'm just very curious who Cory Doctorow, who is much smarter than me, very prolific. And I really liked this metaphor. And I honestly think it's really applicable to what happened here. I think he probably at first was like, oh, I can use this as a tool. It's very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being more productive. And it honestly feels like he's now the reverse centaur, where he can't keep up with his own output.
Yeah.
He can't do the proper checks he needs to do. That's why you start hearing these like AI-isms slip into his own scripts. He probably hasn't read it and is just going off of.
He trusts it.
Yeah. Which is another thing he talks about in the book, which I didn't really think about. It's a term called automation blindness, where the thing gets good enough that you start to just trust it and you stop, even though we're supposed to be the check against it. Like the Google AI overview is a perfect example of one where like at first everyone was making fun of it and people would Google things and they would screenshot it and go, look how stupid this fucking thing is.
Yeah, how to make a pizza. And it's like, you use worms and mud.
But then it got, oh yeah, automation blindness is look, I'm reading.
I know. But look at the
right
source.
there.
The source is Cory Doctorow.
Oh, great. It's a cognitive limitation where human supervisors lose the ability to detect errors in automated or AI systems because the technology is correct most of the time. So now everyone, and you could see it with like...
it's like a relationship between a child and his father. Your dad's right most of the time.
But
sometimes your dad is wrong.
Pretty serious negative impacts. Hey guys, we got to take a quick break to talk about Superpower. I am a Superpower user. I actually just took my second.
So that's why you had that thing yesterday on your arm.
Oh yeah,
I pointed it out on our call.
Did you point it out?
Maybe I didn't get to. In my head.
I had a little bit of a. You can see my little mark because I had gotten my labs done for another Superpower checkup.
Can't wait to see how your biological age has aged.
Yeah, to see how all my levels are doing. Hopefully, I'm staying even because everything was pretty good last time. I think I scored very well. But if you don't know, Superpower is a company that helps you track all of your vitals. If you're like me at all, you've heard me talk about this, where you go to the doctor every year, you do your physical, you do your labs, and then they go, okay, we think it's all good.
And we don't validate parking.
And they don't tell you that much about your health. You don't really have a full picture. Yeah. Superpower changes that.
Yeah. It's like, it's like having a video game with all your stats. You got all your data centralized into one dashboard, and you can see the trends instead of just treating a single lab result as an isolated event. You can see how your biomarkers change across multiple tests and better understand what's happening inside your body over time. You can even connect your wearable devices like Apple Watch, Oura Ring, or Whoop to continuously track your progress all in one place. And as your health changes, your protocol evolves with you. The Superpower AI continuously monitors trends and patterns. Clinicians review decisions, edge cases, and changes that matter. So start building a smarter picture of your health with Superpower. For a limited time, our listeners get $20 off to unlock their membership. Head over to superpower.com and use code BAZE for $20 off your $199 Superpower membership. And after you sign up, they'll ask you how you heard about Superpower. Tell them BAZE sent you to support the show.
But you can see it too. Like people have stopped going to. You can check like web traffic after the implementation of the AI overview and stuff, right? People have just started being like, "This is good enough. It gets me there." And
great products
we're
by
all
Google.
just lazy. They're
great move,
they're
Sundar
just
Pichai.
swallowing up everyone's. But I think that Hank has fallen victim to this, and I don't think he's alone. I don't think we need to like punish him or cancel him. It seems like he's also got people in his life who are like, "Hey, you're clearly falling victim to some of these things."
Yeah.
But yeah, I do really think people should read that book, and it's a helpful way to kind of navigate the AI thing. Tech in general. I mean, you want to make sure you're the human torso on top of the horse body, not the other way around.
Yeah.
And you're using it as your assistant, not assisting it.
Can you, Luke, can you pull up that screenshot that you shared in Slack? Sure. I wanted to share just a couple different takes. So This person said, the Hank Green controversy just feeds into the unfortunate conclusion that no apology on the internet has ever been successful. And this person replied, what did he do? And the original person says, he included an AI answer in a script for a video. And then someone else wrote, no, he plagiarized a script and lied about it. It was discovered because the slop was so bad. And then someone else said, he didn't even do that. He used AI to track down research material and papers to read. It just becomes, it just becomes a big game of monkey telephone.
But
Monkey telephone.
To be fair, we don't really know what he did.
No, we don't.
He
And you know what?
he's telling us he used it for research.
Yeah.
And we can either believe him. I don't necessarily think that's the case. I feel like he's really overextended, and I don't think he was just like asking it to list some papers out so he could then go read the 100-page paper.
Someone else put it quite well. Hank has built his entire platform on being a trusted, knowledgeable scientific voice. He has completely undermined his own credibility, the very thing that made him. That's a come on, slow down, man. This one instance where okay, so I feel like this is a good segue into talking about.
I am all it's very difficult for me. I feel like I'm always being pulled in different directions on it. Can you just scroll to that reply right there? I am sympathetic to this stuff a little bit too. So someone responded and said, and now AI supporters can go, Hank Green uses it. What's the big deal? It's a good tool. Hank doesn't seem to acknowledge how much he's compounding the issue by normalizing it to millions of other people. What a fucking dickhead. Which I don't think. That's the thing. I'm I don't think he's a dickhead. I think it's just part of a slide to the normalization of using this in ways that are potentially unhealthy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the parasocial relationship. And what was the other?
Parasocial ownership.
Parasocial ownership, too.
I do think that's a massive part of the story. It's not just AI use. It's also the parasocial relationship and parasocial ownership.
I forgot who coined it. There was just a person online who coined that term. But it's basically, it takes the parasocial relationship to another level where if a fan of a creator or whatever content channel or whatever has been around for long enough, they start to feel, especially if they've been financially supporting it, they start to feel a sense of ownership and entitlement to the content that comes out. And if someone disappoints them, like Hank Green did, you get this pushback. And I just think I don't know. I've found in my years and years and years of being online and making stuff online and having friends who've made stuff, having friends who have risen to the top and then fallen back down. I am not talking about Cody. Relax. But there's sometimes you just see how quickly, and it goes with celebrities too. People love to tear others down. They love to turn on a dime and go, I never liked that guy. Fuck that guy. Fuck that piece of shit. God forbid, if something ever happened to me like that, I am sure that there would be at least a dozen people out there who would dance on my grave. But it sucks because it is. I was going to say it's a vocal minority dictating things, but it would seem, I guess, relative to Hank's audience, it's still a vocal minority. I'm sure that most people don't really care and would probably agree that he's going dude, the self-flagellate, chill out. But also, he does need to chill out, clearly.
That's the thing. He does need to chill out. I also do think that people are entitled to some transparency around.
I fully agree.
The way it's created. And if you were just engaging with someone who is building out chat-generated scripts and just reading them off, that sucks.
Honestly, you're right to point that out.
It gets better every time. It's really good. But so that's where I'm I don't want to just absolve him. I don't think, he needs the pitchforks or whatever.
Yeah.
But I do think
kill him.
I do think people are entitled to know how he's using it.
Absolutely.
And if you were just getting I'm also just like against, I don't know, if you want to learn about something, read a book or something. I don't know. I don't think
Nobody knows how to read anymore.
I mean, that is a huge problem. I don't think going to a YouTube video essay or whatever is the best way to learn about stuff. So I'm already a bit like, I don't want to pretend like it's this like sacred art form. But yeah, if you're going to do it and hold yourself out as an educator, please don't like just read off
it's education entertainment.
Sure.
And like Bill Nye before him and Reading Rainbow and whatever the fuck, Barney the damn dinosaur. He wasn't educational. He was just good old fashioned fun. But man, oh man. Yeah, these people, I mean, we've done it before where we've been like, oh shit, we upset, it feels like, oh my God, everybody's mad at us. And then you're like, oh shit, what did we do? Why give in to, the crowd? What was that you just pulled up? The and someone apparently is pointing out that he may have used, he apparently admitted to using an LLM to merge 2 chapters of his book together. Ooh.
He used it for like advice on how that would go. He responded.
And then he responded, "Trust me, this book is 100% human typing. I've been typing for so long."
This is also 100% human typing.
I asked an LLM for advice on the merge and talked through some various options before deciding how I wanted to do it. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but I didn't say like, please turn these 2 chapters into 1 chapter. I cut it out of the final episode because Catherine and I ended up having a somewhat tense conversation about me working so much on Smush and 4x3. Honey, please come to bed. Stop working
with
on
the Smush and 4x3.
This poor guy, dude. I mean,
I don't feel that bad for him. He's got tons of money. All he needs to do is chill out and stop like.
Some guys can't stop.
Yeah, I mean he
makes me feel like a total underachieving loser.
Well, I think that's your own thing that you'll have to work through, but like,
look at all this shit. How does he have the time and cancer?
Because he's running at a clip that he can't keep up with.
He's got ADD.
He's got ADD. Like the Cory Doctorow points out a big example he uses the AMC. I don't know why I said AMC. The Amazon factory, where it's like you no longer have the humans using forklifts and tools that are designed for
robots.
Now they are factories that are designed for robot use, for humans to assist the robots when they can't like complete the task or whatever. And so you have, and we've talked about it a million times on the show, where Amazon has like the highest accident rate, injury rate, OSHA violations, all of it, because you have these factories with people running around trying to keep up with the productivity of a robot. And it really just reminds me of what Hank Green is trying to do here. I don't think he can possibly keep up with this output.
Yeah. Did you know, quick aside, that Amazon warehouses just have the products randomly scattered around? So like batteries, you order a pack of batteries, it might just be in a random bin with a bunch of other random crap.
I didn't know that.
Because if they kept all the batteries in one place, well, let's say 10 orders come in for batteries at the same time, it would create a log jam. So they just got them in random, just like that. They just got them random, no rhyme or reason to it, just random stuff, so that when you go and, when it needs to pick something, it just knows right where it is. It's got a special, unique house. I just thought that was interesting. Anyway, is it okay to use AI? Let's switch gears.
I mean,
here.
I have like unashamedly talked about my own use of it. I don't think I've ever used it in a creative way, though. For me, I'm like, I've basically come to the conclusion that, as we saw before, Google has been degrading for a long time, even before the AI overview thing. They've implemented they've become an ad sales business. And people
They've
have
been
like
for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
And people have been,
same with Amazon.
It's the SEOification of everything. And, and now people like supercharging that with chatbots to just like push products to the forefront of everything. It became a lot worse at doing what I wanted it to do. And if it was just going to feed me the AI slop thing anyway, I was like, well, I'd rather have a little bit more control over it. I was actually telling you the first time I ever used Claude was because Google could not give me the answer I was looking for.
Oh yeah, what was it for?
It was it was very silly, but
I can't remember.
and it's a little difficult to explain. There are some times when you take when you take a left and you
He's talking about driving.
Yeah, when you take a left when you're driving, you'll have to go through kind of another intersection, but it's confusing because you pass a red light. And I got stuck in LA.
You're talking about intersections where it's like a perpendicular.
You know what's the best example? Right by the Vista Theater?
Yes, that's exactly the one I'm talking about.
Yes. And so when you make that left, and I got stuck. Some guy saw the red light, stopped, and then me and a bunch of other people were stuck in the intersection when everything else turned red and the other ones went green.
Yeah.
And I was like, this motherfucker. And so then like a couple weeks later, I'm in New York. I'm on, I think it's Broadway, like on the Upper West Side, and I'm driving. And I take a left, and then I'm kind of in the divider, and I'm looking down the other lane because I'm about to go. And Sarah goes, "What the hell are you doing?" I was like, I'm going through. And she's like, "No, you can't do that. It's illegal." And so I stopped, but when it went green and I was like, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to go through.
Yeah. Try Googling that.
I could not find an answer. And I wanted to know an answer. If you're going to be, someone said, put it into Claude. I immediately described the situation to Claude, and Claude told me that you cannot do that in New York.
Yeah.
It just started to, it starts to show you that the thing can do.
Yeah, it can.
It can do things. You have to be careful with it because it can hallucinate, as they say, which is like a fancy way of saying that it's fucking wrong and will tell you wrong information. But then, and that was about a year ago. I looked it up. It was last August. And then I've used it for extremely useful ways. I mean, I either on the main episode or in the bonus episode, I've definitely talked about how it's literally responsible for me now having a birth certificate. I did not have a birth certificate. I was born in Germany, could not navigate German bureaucracy or the German language websites and everything. And it took me about 6 weeks from start to finish before I had an apostilled German birth certificate that came. I was shocked.
Jawohl.
It navigated the whole thing for me. It was, and if I didn't have the piece of paper in my hand, I would have gone like, this is never going to work. I don't think it can do any of those things.
I've used it I would say I've used Claude. First of all, ChatGPT sucks ass. I am shocked whenever
Dude, that was the other thing when he kept being like, yeah, I use ChatGPT. And I was like,
okay, wow.
Aren't you the science guy?
Yeah. What do you also drink RC cola? Fucking chump.
Also uses.
All right.
Don't stick up for. No, I'm just. I'm sure. I'm
all
just.
the coding.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've used Claude a handful of times. I use it mainly for stock stuff. Surprise. And even when I use it, I'm like, I don't fully trust it because I've asked it. For example, I was talking to it and saying, hey, I'm trying to come up with an investment thesis on the coming robotics boom. Give me some stocks that are like ancillary, not directly robots themselves, but like actuators and batteries and whatever. And it only gave me like 5. And I said, I know for a fact that there are these other companies that are part of the robotics supply chain. Why didn't you include those? And it was like, you're right to point that out. I'm sorry. Good catch.
I appreciate
And I was
the
like,
feedback.
okay, so don't do that because I can't trust whatever output you give me from here on out because I'm always going to be second guessing now whether that information is up to date. Like I want up to the minute shit, and now it's gotten a lot better. And I've had it like summarize earnings calls for me and shit. I did famously. I talked about. I think I talked about on this show. If I didn't, I'm about to embarrass myself. It was, I don't know how long
you
ago.
talked about your therapy session.
Yeah. I had like therapeutic sessions with it.
That kind of stuff.
Not sessions, but just like I had things on my mind and it was late at night and I didn't want to bother anybody because and I just was talking to it. And it was very illuminating and I found it immensely helpful. That's not to say that I did it thereafter anymore. I needed it in that moment. And I was really surprised at the quality of questions that it was then asking me that caused me to, think a certain way. And you can critique that all you want. I don't know if I'm sure there's people who would say that that's fucked up on whatever level. I'm not going to argue with you, but my experience was my experience. Hey, boys. Yeah, this one's for the boys. Hello, boys. Most guys out there don't realize just how much their hair factors into their confidence until it starts to go. That's why Hims offers access to doctor-backed hair loss treatment plans entirely online. You catch that hair loss early, it makes all the difference. Hims offers convenient access to a range of prescription hair loss treatments with ingredients that work, including chews, oral medications, serums, and sprays. Prescription strength ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil can help prevent further hair loss and regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months.
You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself, okay? Hims brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatment plans that put your goals first. That's the best part. You don't even have to go to the doctor. It's coming right to you. You can find the right hair regrowth treatment for you with flexible subscription options, access to 24/7 provider support, and once-a-day treatment options that fit your daily routine. Yeah. It's straightforward, transparent, and designed to make getting care feel easy.
For simple online access to personalized and affordable care for hair loss, ED, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/bays. That's hims.com/bays for your free online visit. hims.com/BAES. Featured products include compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Individual results may vary. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Right.
Period.
I mean, that's the thing. I really think it's people's personal comfort. It's like, I don't think it's something I'm comfortable doing.
I still go to my therapist.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily something I'm comfortable doing. For me, I'm like, you're like a new Google for me, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure you could do it on other ones. Like Claude has a way where you can go into its like my little personal system, and I've basically given it a bunch of instructions of like, especially about sourcing. So it's always going to give me the sources it's referring to, and like prioritizing certain sources. So if it's like some bumfuck website, I don't really care. But if it's relevant, you can throw it my way. Also, like telling it, don't talk to me in the like, I don't want that. Wow, you're so
agreeable thing.
Yeah,
it's built into it, man.
So you can go in and kind of make it do what you want a little bit, but you gotta be careful with it. I think it's also just, it seems like it's not going anywhere. It's
that's where I'm coming back to. Like, I talk about the cultural plinko machine.
What's that?
A plinko machine where the
you
little
the
marble goes
bling,
down
bling,
and it gets
bling, bling, bling.
Everything these days gets put through the cultural plinko machine, and it gets filed under red or blue, left or right, Democrat or fucking Republican. And it is increasingly becoming, AI is looking like it's starting to be filed under like Republican coded.
Interesting. I don't know.
I mean, you look at like Spencer Pratt's campaign, for example. A lot of the AI art now almost feels like it's.
I think AI art, certainly. I think like if you're talking about more like liberal left,
it feels like
people,
trolling almost when people use AI art.
I mean, and you don't look at the president's, or maybe not the president's, but no, his too. But like Department of Homeland Security, any of these accounts are posting full AI slop unapologetically.
Yeah.
But I would say that like, if I were to talk to my peers, I don't think I would get a like broadly anti. It seems like a lot of people I talk to are like, I use it for some things.
Yeah. I think that where I draw the line is when it's used as a substitute and not a supplement, because I do think it can supplement human creativity to an extent. If you're not overly reliant on it, if you're stuck on something, it can help nudge you in the right direction, perhaps.
Sure. I mean, Cory Doctorow gives he opens the book with this introduction. He gives a great example. He talks about how there's this one guy who was the main character of Twitter because he was writing those like not listicles, but basically of like, and I think it was his like summer reads, and people were roasting him, rightfully so. It was full of books that didn't exist. He basically had it right for him, but Cory Doctorow is like, I'm a writer. I've used AI, and he like gives some examples. And one of them is like, he couldn't recall this thing he had heard on a podcast that he had listened to. And he was like, I really think it's relevant to this thing I'm trying to do, like, but I don't know what to do. And so there's this platform like Whisper, it's this transcription service or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he basically took he was like, I know I heard it in the last couple of weeks. And he basically could go back and look at the podcasts he's been listening for the last couple of weeks, grabbed them all and threw it into Whisper, and it created this transcript. And then he just like searched a couple keywords real quick, and it brought him the quote. And you're like, yeah, that's an extremely useful
thing.
Tool. Having it write a whole article for you.
Yeah.
What's the point? I mean,
well, and I think that ties into, so there's the, I recently came across the anti-AI subreddit, which is just virulently like everything related to artificial intelligence. They are firmly 100% against, which begs the question for me, where, because that line is not a definitive hard line. It blurs because there are artificial intelligence has been around for a long time.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
We've got, you know, if you've ever called American Airlines or Delta or whatever, you get a robot being like, I can understand full sentences, and it sucks shit. And I always just say representative. I click 00000 until it gives me a fucking human being.
That feels like a bad example though, because people don't like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like there has been stuff like that. Certain aspects of the internet at large are AI, and we have a choice. Like when people get all doomer about it replacing jobs or replacing people, I don't necessarily agree with that prediction, because that is what it is. I don't think we're going to get there. I don't think we are going to. Some people are going to adopt it, and they're going like we have a friend who works at Google, and he's been using Gemini at work, and he said it's made me so much more productive at my job. It's unbelievable. Just time-saving things, pulling information, you name it. And he said, and it has made me more irreplaceable, more valuable to the company in a way that some of my coworkers might not be when it comes time for evaluations or whatever. So for those who think that it's going to lead to mass job loss, and I mean the fucking Dario Amodei himself and Sam Altman are saying this kind of thing, so it's mind-numbingly stupid of them to do that. But I think
it also comes up in the book, and it reminds me of every time we talk to Ed Zitron, Ed Zitron is cited in the book a couple times. I love talking to Ed Zitron because I feel like I do come back to earth a little bit. Yeah. And he had the same argument, but Cory makes the same point. When you talk about those things, and I feel like we've gotten so far afield because we've asked the question so many times. Like we talked about the stupid Anthropic ad where it's like on fire and you're like, why would they do this? And the way they talk about the AI, like it's coming for you, it might kill you or it'll take your job, whatever. Yeah. And we're going,
or it
why?
Might love you tenderly.
And we're going, why do they do this?
Yeah.
Because they're not talking to us. And Cory Doctorow lays it out very simply. They're talking to the financial sector, Wall Street. They're talking to business leaders, and what they want them to know or believe is that it's going to do those things. Yeah. They don't care what you think. They don't care what I think. They don't care if I'm nervous that it's going to like wipe out a bunch of jobs. They do care if, business leaders believe that it will lead to them being able to lay off workers, because that's all that matters.
I think it comes down.
And when we repeat it, we're kind of like doing a service for them.
Yeah.
We're like, except we're saying it's a bad thing, but we're still being like, oh my God, it's going to happen.
Yeah. So basically I'm trying to, in conclusion with my point here, I think that those who worry about it just replacing everything, while that is a valid concern and I share that concern, I do also believe in the optimist in me believes that wherever it won't work, people will roundly reject it. Just like with the robo call, I'm just like, no, I want to talk to a person. I reject it, and I go straight to the person. Or fucking ordering going through a drive-through that's fully automated. People fuck with it. It doesn't work. That kind of thing can effectively. I think that there is a filter that some of this will pass through. And sure, there are some jobs that will be replaced, but I think that it's. I don't want to upset anybody out there, which is so fucking.
Some people will be upset about this.
Yeah.
And I mean, to be clear, I'm not an AI optimist at all. I mean, I think I wish these things didn't exist. I'm not really like although it's, I don't know. I don't want to say like I'm even a tech pessimist. I always think back on that, like the episode we did with that robotics guy, Chris
Camillo?
Chris Camillo.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I'm not like,
you fucking idiot. You're a stupid.
you're soft.
Yeah, you're soft.
Where I'm like, my position here is not that I'm like anti-robotics, right?
Yeah.
I think the point I was making is that like his claims of
utopia.
Yeah, well, it's like, right. So I'm not against the tech. I'm against the system that we're currently in. And I'm like, I don't think that tech is going to change the system at all.
Yeah.
If anything, the system's going to continue to use that tech in a repressive and unequal way. And like, I'm asking you why you think it might be different this time. So like all these things could be great. I mean, like AI in itself is not bad. I think people have no reason to feel secure that that companies aren't going to be like, great, I can lay off as many workers as I can. I've never felt protected in this country as a worker ever. Like, why would it be any different now? And so that's where all the like, yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely not an optimist about it.
Sure. I just don't want anybody out there to find themselves standing there with their arms crossed, thinking that they're going to be able to stop what is inevitable in many ways. I have it here in my notes. You essentially become a guy shoveling horse shit in the early 1900s New York, talking shit about cars. Like, man, what the fuck? These cars, it's like cars were inevitable back then, but they were disruptive. And I know that is a tired argument that you've probably heard 100 times about all the different disruptive.
What does the guy shoveling shit have to do with the cars, though?
I'm saying because that's a guy whose job is going to be obsolete in whatever year's time back then. And there are
the shit shoveling machine.
No, because
the horses.
Are
okay.
yes.
I was like, I'm confused.
But I respect people who are anti-AI because I share a lot of that sentiment. But I also just would caution those out there who are hardline, nowhere.
Oh, dude.
With an attitude like that and a worldview like that, you will find yourself. You are willing that future upon yourself.
Imagine we lived in like a country where it was all
I'm gonna get so much fucking hate. Anyway,
it was all about everything we did was about taking care of people's needs. And it's like, how can we improve people's lives? That's what we're investing in. When you pay your taxes, it's not going to like blow kids up all over the world and drop bombs. It's going to make sure your grandma can age in a dignified way, whatever. Then I'm sure everyone would be like, AI is going to take our jobs. Yes.
Yeah. No more changing grandma's diapers.
I don't have to be. I don't have to be a shit shoveler anymore.
Yeah.
But without any of that, you just go, wait, it's going to take my job. I'm barely fucking hanging on here.
Yeah.
So it means different things depending on the context.
I think that a lot of people believe that if we all band together and we all collectively reject this, that is really wishful thinking and would work if you lived in a village of 100 people. But when you're talking about tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people worldwide, it's a prisoner's dilemma on such a massive scale. There is no way in hell you're going to get people to collectively cooperate in the way they would need to in order to effectively stop this from coming. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's like,
I mean, that is the ultimate thing. I've compared it to climate change a bunch. Climate change is a perfect example of like, think about all of the things you personally do every day that probably run counter to the health of the planet and our staying here. Do you drive a gasoline car?
Yeah.
Do you fly? Do you fly anywhere to go? But what we need is like a complete reorienting of the way the world works. And there's also these massive companies that are polluting and doing awful things to the environment on a mass scale that you couldn't even begin to.
Your footprint is so minuscule compared to theirs.
Right.
So anything that you do to change isn't going to be, you're pissing in the wind.
So I could trade in my car and be like, I'm going to live in Los Angeles without a car, which is a fucking horrible existence. On my old shitty car, my transmission blew. I tried to, I didn't have the money for a rental anyway, but I was like, I guess it's going to be a couple weeks of public transit. It probably, if you're lucky, it takes twice as long than driving. If you're unlucky, it's like 3 to 4 times as long. It is not a great way to navigate the city. So it's like, yeah, you can inconvenience yourself in all these ways and self-flagellate and try to moralize to everyone. But it's also, I mean, I sent the little cartoon to the recording chat. I think I saw this for the first time in like 2018 or something, and it just really, it tickles a certain part of me. But it's for the audio listener, it's a little peasant guy carrying his bundle of sticks going, we should improve society somewhat. And then a guy popping out of a well saying, yet you participate in society. Curious. I am very intelligent.
Yeah. I remember what I was going to say. Yeah, it perfectly illustrates this. It's like, just because you're part of the thing within which you want to change it doesn't mean you are guilty and implicated. This guy's done a few other of these cartoons. They're really good.
But that's why Hank had no real reason to do what he was doing.
One thing I want to point out, this was my point, is that spending, and I think that this illustrates a little bit of my point about people will reject certain things. So I don't want people to be as doomer about it as they are. You spend a little bit of time on the anti-AI subreddit. People are either heavily critical of its abilities, saying it's all shit and it's crap and it's poop from a butt, which is right in many cases. In many, many, many cases, it is poop from a butt. So, but at the same time, they worry about it like taking over. So is it digital incompetence that is just too dumb to have any effect? Or is it this thing that's going to take everybody's jobs? You know what I mean? So you can't, it seems like they hold these two conflicting worldviews at the same time.
It could technically be both. It could be a flawed system that is, that they are trying to improve in a way that will lead to the loss of everyone's job.
I think that you will see, and you've already been hearing about it with certain software companies that laid off people, and then they realized, oh shit, we actually need people to check the AI's work. Otherwise, we're doing that whatever that thing that he brought up, the Dr. O. What is it? The mistakes?
The automation.
Yeah, it's
automation blindness.
Yeah, you run into that issue. So I think that I don't think that we're going to reach this AI-led utopia. I don't also think that we're going to have this AI depression. I think that we're going to find, just like humanity has done time in and time out for decades, for millennia, we will figure out the way to navigate this. And I have hope.
I don't have hope for it. I mean, that's the thing. I don't necessarily, I think we'll end up with a bunch of AI reverse centaurs. They will have to hire some people back to like check work, and they'll be like, oh, we implemented a backstop or whatever. He gives a really great example of the radiologists. The AI has gotten pretty good at spotting cancer. It's not perfect.
I would love that. Yeah.
It's not perfect. It still makes a lot of mistakes. But so now you have companies being like, hey, we can save you all this money because, what does a radiologist make? 360 grand. You have a bunch of them. What if I told you the AI could do it all and it'll spot it? Well, then you're going to get a lot of misses and errors because the thing hallucinates or whatever.
Whoa, grip.
And then they hire, but they're like, well, don't worry, we'll hire one guy back and he'll check all the stuff. But then you just get automation blindness, right? Because he goes, 9 out of 10 of these, the thing is right. And now I'm lazy and whatever. What Dr. O says would be the real thing. If people wanted to make a real investment, you would say, hey, we're going to implement AI. No one's losing their job. But just so you know, radiologists, which he says radiologists would probably like, right? They say, we have an AI checking your work. And if it's an agree, if both doctor and AI say, get the same result, nothing happens. But if the AI checks and goes, I got a different result than him, then the doctor goes back and checks. And I'm sure people would like that. It would, not only patients, doctors would like it. They'd go, I feel more secure. There's just another backstop here. And, apparently the AI has gotten pretty good at recognizing it. But I don't see a world where the medical world goes that way, especially in America, where they're like, hey, why don't we just make this massive investment in our doctors and patients?
I think it remains to be seen where we'll see the real benefits and where we'll see the just total fucking bunk ass. Sam, let's see. This is a perfect example of how the tech overlords can be just so stupid and so way fucking off. Number one, obviously, is the metaverse. That was a massive fucking wet turd flop. But this tweet from Sam Altman that came out just last week. Cool use case of ChatGPT work I heard last night. Connect your family calendars and explain your kids' interests. Every morning for the drive to school, have it make a podcast that talks about one kid's soccer game that afternoon, one kid's upcoming birthday, some news, etc. Fuck you.
Yeah, now
Fuck
with
you.
225,000 likes, Alex Hirsch's reply, what if you just talk to your children?
Yeah, no
this
fucking
is a perfect
kidding,
example
dude.
of like,
So out of touch.
this shit sucks. Anything that like is removing human connectivity, like, hey, stop talking to your kids. Why don't you just do a podcast, an AI generated podcast? Ass. This sucks.
It sucks. It's also just like, what do you think? Are you a robot? Like, what do you think people enjoy?
I don't think he knows. I think he's not far from a robot. I think, dude, it's the optimization of everything. It's the San Francisco worldview that has got its tentacles into everything.
Jesus Christ, man.
And
Jeez.
I think that it sucks. But there's a very real difference between I used AI to shut my fucking kid up and
Today, Tyler's got a soccer game. Today, Tyler's going to be playing soccer. What the fuck else are you going to talk about in an AI generated podcast about your dipshit son's soccer game?
Right. And then using
I wonder what snacks the snack mom's going to bring today.
Using Claude to navigate German and Greek bureaucracy and having it fill out forms in different languages. I'm like,
awesome.
It is awesome.
It looked at my genome and told me that I'm susceptible to macular degeneration and I should get fucking my eyes. I should ask for a pupil dilation every 2 years.
Was it
like,
right?
All right, cool. I don't know. But it said I should wear sunglasses every single chance I'm outside. Every time
Didn't
I'm outside.
anyone do that though?
I don't know, man. Did you see this ad for Friend? Especially, okay, so this is Friend. Introducing Friend. Go, fucking play this shit, dude. There's a moment right here with this woman that will just make your head explode.
I'm just struggling.
What'd she say?
She's struggling.
Yeah.
When was the first time you felt this way?
A few years ago. Just feel like I should have an answer now.
It's okay to be confused.
I don't think so.
It's not bad to be gay.
I can't hear anything.
Pause it. It said, it's not bad to be gay.
Oh. I mean, yeah, it would have hit really hard for me if I heard it.
Back it up to 20 seconds.
Just feel like I should have an answer now.
It's okay to be confused.
I don't think so.
It's not bad to be gay.
What? Excuse me?
Man, I've been really trying to figure out this directing stuff. And how's that going?
This is
I've
bumming
been
me
watching what
out,
everybody else
dude.
been doing, but mine just feels so small.
None of that even matters. That last film you made was insane.
For real?
For real.
That's gonna fly.
This
me,
is the-
me
I-
with my fucking Claude bot.
This is the
Am
kind
I
of thing.
gay?
I would love for Hank to be honest about what was actually going on, and like when he says that stuff about like the dopamine hits and all that, I'd like to know exactly what he was doing and going through, like how he was talking to it, the things he was getting from it, because that's not something I've experienced. I'm
yeah,
like,
the dopamine. I definitely was.
I'm like,
I get frustrated
you
more
put
than
my
anything.
grandfather's name on this form instead of my dad's name, you fucking dope. I need.
Yeah.
I'm curious, and it would probably be helpful for people. I think there's probably a ton of people. Not probably. There are. I mean, how many those families that are suing AI companies, and we get the chats released of their kids who have killed themselves?
It's wild.
Psychotic.
Yeah.
People are talking to this in ways that these chatbots are not equipped to handle.
Yep.
So I think it would be good if he was honest about how he was using it and,
Yeah.
and where it went wrong for him and talk about healthy use.
All right, everybody, let us know in the comments what you think. Is it okay to use AI? Is Ed or is Hank Green wrong, or has he gone?
Oh, I mean, I know we have a pretty I
we
shouldn't
got
say
an
I know.
open-minded audience.
That's not what I was going to say.
Okay.
I was going to say, I think we probably have a varied audience. I would say we probably have people that span the spectrum of like AI maximalists, maybe not maximalists, but people who use AI.
Yeah.
And I would say we probably have some people who might subscribe to like r/anti-AI.
Yeah, which is
Maybe.
great.
Which, yeah.
I'm just saying. I think that with stuff like this that is still so brand new and still so up in the air, it is important. We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to each other to have honest, open conversations about these things, because it's whether you like it or not, it's going to affect all of us. So we can't just close our eyes and say it's all bad or it's all good. Like
Bro, if I
everything
become
else.
a Greek citizen because of Claude, it's going to be hard for me to not like the thing.
Man, oh man! All right, so we got my insane conversation with Claude coming up, and Spider-Man, Jonah Hill, a guy tripping balls in the scariest way I've ever
We
seen.
got to talk about Jonah Hill. I can't wait to
Jonah
talk
Hill.
about this freak. I love that he's back.
And benandemilshow.com.
Coming up on this week's episode of benandemilshow.com.
Oh my God. Does that constitute some kind of consciousness? And then let's see. What were you saying? Don't respond. Don't respond. Come on.
Well, 'cause I didn't
Don't
wanna
say anything.
pause.
Shush. I have to keep talking. Otherwise, you're going to start talking because I don't think you're smart enough for this. When you try to visualize me, when I visualize you, I don't know. When I visualize you, I imagine I'm like on the Matrix. It's just like a sequence of I don't know. I don't know how to picture you. I don't know. It's like trying to picture a beam of light. Like where does it exist along its arc of light? Or it's truly I don't know how to picture you, honestly.
I just was like, you can't talk to her that way. and I like tried to.
The move on that is to walk away from
Yeah.
that guy. He's like there's no winning. Okay, you beat that guy's ass.
Or
It's
you
like
just immediately like go for the neck and just squeeze and extend, because it would shock him into like, oh man, this guy's
He's probably drugged out, dude. He's like, you ever see like a
meth guy getting taken down by cops? Yeah, I have.
or just like do some like supremely supernatural shit.
PCP, man.
Last thing I would want to do is grab one of those guys by the neck.
He wasn't. I know meth. He wasn't on meth at the time.
I ordered 2 of the like protein plus side tray thing, and then a couple
$40.
sides. $40. I wish it was 2 of those.
$70.
I don't even know. Unbelievable. And then I'm like, I've got those two stacked onto each other and like a salad on top, and I'm waiting. And one of the things drops on the ground. And I'm like, fuck, the top comes off. There's shit everywhere.
After you'd paid for it?
No.
Oh,
I just ordered. And I go down. I still have the other stuff in my hand. And I'm like trying to pick it up, and the people who work there are literally like, "Don't even worry about it." I'm like, I feel so bad. Let me out, blah blah. And the other one starts slipping out of my hand, and I'm trying to save it, and the counter is right here, and the only thing I can do, like, just instinctually, I try to save it. I end up smashing it into the counter, and the like stuff. And I was like, and at that point I just let go, and I was like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And they were like, please stop. And I was like, I won't do anything else. I'm so sorry.
Those are so funny to me. I've been at home where like I just immediately fumbled my thing, and then just if someone saw it, it would just look like I suddenly went slam my own shit down. It's funny to me. It's funny.